Greetings to all. Nowadays, BARUTA still maintains large green extensions, which contributes to its pleasant climate with considerable humidity levels and rugged terrain that provides great challenges for the project. Its large forest provides shelter for a diverse number of animal and plant species. They also allow the correct irrigation of the soil, avoiding large floods, protecting important water sources. BARUTA has fertile soils that have allowed certain communities to harvest food and be able to cope with the current crisis in the country. The topography has conditioned a dense and fragmented urban growth, finding small urban spaces called pocket parks within the urban fabric and greater dimensions parks in the surrounding areas. This growth puts 36% of the inhabitants at risk because they are located in areas of high risk of floods and landslides due to the overflowing of creeks or on steep slopes, affecting the vulnerable's informal constructions. The water and the soil are damaged by the pollution generated by the lack of services. Based on the aforementioned, different spaces with great potential can be identified to promote interaction between communities and local production, which helps to face the current crisis with the objective of turning BARUTA into an example of sustainability and self-sufficiency. In summary, 3 important points can be identified: the basic needs that must be taken care of, the availability or lack of resources, and the spaces that will improve the services and quality of lives of the sector. The big nodes are large areas with the possibility of being occupied or rehabilitated for various activities, which relate to different neighborhoods or urbanization. While the small nodes are spaces within the urban fabric that currently have a assigned role, like small parks and schools. Then there are the green belts, located for the transition between the urban and the natural, on slopes to protect the green areas and avoid dense constructions, with systems for mobility, accessibility, ranging from walkways and ramps for pedestrians to mass transport such as metro cables.
The idea is to generate a learning network that stimulates community gardens for self-sufficiency, and also raise awareness about the importance of protecting and conserving the environment. All this through a system of public spaces that allows the connection and integration of informal settlements and formal urbanizations. Mobility will be improved by an aerial cable metro network and a terrestrial one consisting of a system of ramps and stairs. The first step for this project is education. With the help of schools and educational institutes as a promoter of sustainability and self-sufficiency customs, they can help to enhance the knowledge about agriculture that these communities already have, since many come from rural areas, by managing their skills from a responsible point of view. Thus, by enabling and adapting green spaces and corridors for this activity, it will contribute to increase local production and control the growth of the city near large green areas and lands with steep slopes, protecting biodiversity and preventing the inhabitants from being at risk. Equipment can be installed to make up the lack of services, such as the WARCA, which collects water from the humidity in the air. Following the same line, the sanitation of streams is essential, not only to improve the quality of life, but also to take advantage of this resource for consumption. Certain types of vegetation, such as aquatic macrophytes, can be very useful, allowing the sanitation and cleaning of the water. It results in the integration of these creeks as part of the main spaces, aiming that it becomes part of the identity of the site and thus generate interest in its correct use and desire to protect this resource. The more fluid the mobility, the more accessible and concrete these spaces will be. Currently, the circulation systems are quite efficient. As a consequence, many communities are isolated. Where access by vehicles is problematic, the motorcycles are the most efficient option. The walkways and pedestrian routes in many cases are non-existent, while in some areas the stairs are the only way to go up for the inhabitants, and because of that, they become a meeting and interaction place. Then, many have to take public transportation, but the bus stops are not formalized. The idea is to equip them so they can offer a better service and function as a meeting space.
The public transportation system in the area does not cover the total demand. The project seeks to improve efficiency by integrating a metricable system with different stations that facilitates and speeds up the mobility between the areas. Thus, a new experience can be lived from another point of view, admiring the landscape and allowing the disabled to move more easily. In addition, at the pedestrian level, a series of walkways, stairs, and ramps is proposed. This will make it possible to weave the proposed spaces with the existing urban fabric, interconnecting the different spaces at different levels and providing an efficient and quick mobilization network on a local scale. The different areas that make up BARUTA are mostly for residential use, but it is inevitable to find small businesses, certain industrial areas, schools, churches, among others. This reflects the need to have a variety of functions in the proposed spaces that allow covering the various areas of human development. In conclusion, the project has the possibility of being developed in such a way that it meets basic needs such as providing food, generating employment, and improving services, taking advantage of the range of opportunities that BARUTA offers, ranging from the possibility of taking advantage of fertile soil and collection of water, the role of the Simon Bolivar University as an urban catalyst in the area and promoter of sustainable practice, together with the existing schools, different spatial experiences that can be generated due to the topography, among others, taking into account that the natural resources are not infinite and that there is a limit of available spaces to expand with dense constructions due to the amount of risk areas. The project has to understand the dynamics of the community so that the change works and generates enough interest to create a self-sustainable custom and culture for the care of these spaces. This is the team that worked on this proposal. Thank you all.